Okay, yeah, tell us about it.
About the concept of the Top-Bar Hive?
Yeah, absolutely.
So basically the bees will build horizontally into the hive box, which is mimicking a tree trunk. It's very thick. It provides insulation at the top of the colony as well with the thickness of those bars. And the bees really like to move. They build their bird's nest by the entrance up front, and then they'll grow and build their surplus honey in the back. So it makes it super intuitive to know where everything is. So when you inspect, you smoke the entrance, which is on the other side right here. Those holes by the end piece. I like cold entrances, which allow air flow through the combs and better thermal regulation. And then because I want to work in the back, my hinges are on the front where the entrances are, right? And now as they grow, they're going to build all that comb away from the entrance, which is the front.
They're gonna start here and then go this way.
Correct.
Okay.
And each comb it will build on a bar. So if you have never had bees in there, you're going to want to give them a little guide, some bamboo skewers or a shoelace dipped in beeswax to get them started. Give them an indication of what is straight. Otherwise, they might build sideways, right?
Yeah, yep. Yeah, we know that.
Once they get started, all it takes for you to cycle out the comb through the bird's nest, they're building. You put an empty bar right here. They're going to build it up. You're going to put another empty bar right here. They're going to build it up. And you keep doing that so that fresh comb is traveling through the bird's nest and keeping it sanitary without you having to think about anything about cycling out. Yeah. So comb honey is, natural comb is best for their health because they get to organize that to maximum efficiency for their biology.
And then they're building all new comb on every single
one. So
bar.
No use for foundation. The beauty is that everything comes into the box. You don't have to add more boxes or remove or count number of frames because everything is interchangeable that way. You work at waist height. You don't have to lift anything heavy. Like a box of Langstroth can weigh up to 90 pounds. And you have to do and twist, and the bees are mad while you're doing this, and you do that potentially several times. And then when you're done with your inspections, you have to put it back down, crushing bees. These don't get crushed in those, so that keeps them a lot calmer. You start the inspection from the back. So remember, I smoke the front. The guard bees are distracted during their thing. And then I'm sneaking in the back through the comb honey that's not really as protected. They don't know I'm there. I get to the brood's nest, and now I get to see the first comb of the brood, if it's healthy or not. If I'm good and I'm not splitting or doing anything, I close it back. I use the bottom edge to the top edge to avoid crushing bees.
And then you're just sliding them right off.
And I slide it right off. Yeah.
Yes.
So meanwhile, my bird's nest hasn't been open. So I haven't lost humidity. I haven't lost propolis vapor compound. My temperature is stayed stable, and my colony is not stressed, and therefore they're not getting exposed to problems.
Where you can get in and out and be moved on to the next site or the next hive.
Much faster than with a Langstroth.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So it works great for a backyard and small homesteads, and if you're crazy like me, 400 colonies, that works still well. Even though I move them, they tend to be static for extended periods of time. Right. It's not so practical for commercial beekeeping, but only less than 1% of us are commercial, so the vast majority of beekeepers are not commercial.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you have questions on all that?
Probably, but not exactly sure where to start. But
I tend to keep talking, so
keep going as much as you want.
So
what
else do you want to
tell us about the feeder.
So feeding bees, I don't feed bees usually unless there's a need for it. Like I don't want them to starve. So if I have to feed, I feed in the hive, because that's the most efficient way to target the needs of that colony. So a very simple, easy way is to get a jar, glass or plastic. As long as it fits under the bars, you can poke holes, fill the syrup, put a couple of sticks or bamboo skewers or pencils at the bottom and the back away from the entrance, and you invert it, and that syrup stays in there until the bees just go in.
And is that just like a slow drip then, or
it's
can
not
they
a
get...
slow drip, it's a vacuum feed.
Oh,
so they'll go and suck it out.
As they pull it out,
Yeah,
I
that
see.
air at the
I see.
top has got nowhere to go, so it's
gotcha.
pulling, right?
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
it's a vacuum feeder.
Okay, I see.
But if you want to be fancy, you can get yourself a custom-made, feeder that can replace a couple of bars, and then you put that in the back, same thing. But because this one is there, I'm not doing that.
Sure.
But so you can open this, and the bees can crawl from inside the hive, so you can feed from without opening the hive.
You're never exposing the hive.
No,
really?
and then you can just pour whatever syrup or fondant or whatever, sugar break or whatnot you want to put in there. The bees crawl underneath the bars. You can see right there my finger is sticking out underneath the bar, and they will climb up without having to get out or anything like that. And then when you're done filling it in, you close it and you're done.
Very nice.
Because it's glued inside, there's no leaks, and it's rough enough for the bees to climb up and
They
down.
just climb up and down the walls of the inside
Yes.
the slots there.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's ways to do this.
Oh yeah. Can we look at the Flex Hive now?
Yes, let's look at the Flex Hive. Okay, so the Flex Hive, by design, you could use a super on top, but by design, it was meant to be initially, so you have this is a 5-frame Langstrasse, and it has a lid for Langstrasse, not conventional because it's just the one I like to use. And I connected that to a Top-Bar milk box. So that's a 10-bar milk box like this one right here, standalone, which you could raise a colony in. But I removed the end cap on one side so that I could trace and cut the opening in the Langstrasse wall. So the way I do this is I take a bar, whatever your bar height is, you trace underneath on the Langstrasse, then you take that open Top-Bar nuke, you line it up to the line you trace that, and then you take a jigsaw and you cut this opening, then you cut the notch right there straight horizontal and to the wall right here. The reason the notch is there is so that you can tuck a bar against and you can sit a super on top, and it's going to respect bee space. The way you work this and install this, you can start with a large colony if you have one and do that with it. That will grow that much faster, but you'll be able to grow Top-Bar comb in there directly using an existing Langstrasse colony. So if you cannot find a Top-Bar nuke and you don't want to use a package to populate that hive, then you can use any size. So a 5-frame nuke, you're going to use, so usually you have honey, capped brood, and open brood in the center. You're going to take that open brood and put it right there, tuck it against the wall. That honey is a barrier to exclude, it's a queen excluder, and put it away. Now you have open brood, capped brood, honey, all tucked tight. You push them against the wall of the hive. That bar, you push it tight right here. It respects bee space. It's the same width shoulder to shoulder that this bar is. So they're gonna be on center to center, parallel to that first comb right here. And because the entrance is right here, and there's no entrance in the Langstrasse, they're going to want to put their bird's nest around that entrance, so they start building comb and putting bird in it. So if you travel and close that hole and put another one opening, they're going to keep pushing that bird right there. And if you go all the way here, that's going to be your front of the hive with your guard bees, and the back is going to be your storage. So you can still do liquid extraction in the extractor with your Langstrasse frames, just the same way you would. You don't have to change a thing about your Langstrasse beekeeping.
Right,
if you do that, you can then play with this and enjoy, Top-Bar beekeeping. And if you want, you can make splits to populate and start. Or if you're a business person, you can sell splits. You sell nukes for about $100 more than the Langstrasse nuke, right? So it's a niche market.
Sure,
so it's a
sure.
source of income that's got very little competition. You can diversify your source of income. Then if you want to do the opposite, and if you want to put the entrance right here on this and let them grow comb with the brood staying here, you're going to have backfilling of comb honey. which is also another kind of honey production that you can play with, right?
Yes,
so
okay.
it depends what you want to do. The beauty of it is that you can also add supers and keep doing, you know, understanding that they'll put the brood where the entrance is. You can just modulate based on your goals, what you're trying to do with this, and do the best of both worlds, basically.
Right.
So that's easy. You can use Langstroth feeders for this. You don't have to use a special feeder.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So you see the 3 entrances? Those
Yes,
are the ones that you travel.
And as they move over, you would just open them up.
Correct. I would close this one, and I would open this one if I want the brood to go this way, and then as they grow, I'm going to close that one and open this one to go this way. So it depends what you're trying to do. It depends what your goals and what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, well, very flexible, isn't it?
Yes, and you can see right here, the comb is going to grow to the shape of the hive and initially straddle this part. So if you want to use a push-pop principle and get rid of the Langstroth altogether, or sell the Langstroth, you could do that, and now you're stuck. You got your Top-Bar nuke.
Go back to the top of the
If you're using a plastic foundation or a plastic feeder, they're going to backfill, right? They're going to backfill for the most part with honey, so you can harvest honey from there, push that. You can harvest honey from this, you know, because the capped root's going to get backfilled with honey. You're going to push that. And they're not going to build here because they don't want to cross that barrier of plastic, right? So you're going to be doing this, and before you know it, you'll be done. No more Langstroth. And if you want to get rid of it completely, you're done. You can put that end cap back here and leave them connected even if you want to for next year, if you need to. It's very modular. That's why I call it the Flex Hive.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Very.
So, any questions on that?
I'm sure there's many, but
Okay.
yeah, no. Very cool. Thank you for
You're
showing us.
welcome, Levi.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Laurel, you're back. Yes, you may. This should be I'll be right back.
bây giờ so có bạn